We've all heard the expression, when you shine your light, you give others permission to do the same. We've all heard the expression, you are the creator of your reality. And I'm giggling as I'm saying this because my kittens are creating chaos over there. And of course, I have created chaos somehow. At the time of this recording, I am currently watching the maps and paying attention because there is an incredibly large and dangerous forest fire very near to my house. I am not currently on alert to move out of my house to be evacuated yet, but it is very close. And so I'm paying attention. And that brought to mind for me today, as I was recording this podcast, about how fear and uncertainty can create results in our life. Not only when there's a forest fire burning and there's a very real threat in our physical reality, but when those not so real threats come up, like fear of being judged, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of people, saying negative things about us in the online space. I know this online business thing is scary. I get it. But what do we do? How do we navigate that fear? How do we share our truth, our light? How do we step into our own limelight and allow the full potential of our experience to unfold? Well, I talk about that and so much more in this week's episode of the Life at Full Blast podcast. I'll see you on the inside. The edge of evolution, of change, of growth, it's scary and it feels messy, especially when there is big, grand change occurring in the world. At the time of this recording, I am currently on potential evacuation alert because of an incredible forest fire close to my home, and it's scary. And as I look at the news around the world, there are fires everywhere. There are natural disasters. There are catastrophes happening everywhere, and it is scary. There is chaos occurring. And it's easy for us to get caught up in the noise of that, in the drama of it, in the fear of it, and to stay focused on nothing but that. And the what if this went wrong and what if that went wrong, as my kitten is also yelling about this, right? It's scary when we have to do something that feels out of our comfort zone. It's scary when we don't know the outcome of things. There are currently resorts and homes being burnt less than 20 minutes drive from my house. It's scary. The winds are changing direction. It's scary. I don't know how this turns out. But what I do know for sure is that I have faith. And although I'm using a very extreme example of the unknown, of having to have faith, of seeing the disaster and the chaos and the tower burning, in order for us to see what's on the other side. The same thing happens when we're going after our dream. And we have to do something that's a little bit scary. We've got to learn a new skill, or we've got to, put ourselves out there. We've got to be visible. We've got to share our story. We've got to be vulnerable. And we don't know what's on the other side of that. And it's scary. It's messy. But the thing is, growth, change, evolution, all happens on the other side. And so we must have faith. We must believe. We must know that things always happen for a reason. And we must hold space for those around us who may not understand, who may feel fear, who may feel fear for you. We must hold space for all of it, recognizing that we as humanity are growing and evolving. And there is chaos in the middle of that. And on the other side is absolute magic. Same thing with building your business, same thing with building your dream. You can't change something without first tearing something down, without first breaking through your fear, without first finding the faith required to keep going, even when you have no idea how it will unfold. So stay the course, my friends. Have faith, believe, know that you are taken care of, and the universe is supporting you every step of the way in the creation of your dream, no matter how messy and how scary it might feel. As we learn to trust and have faith and hold space for our dream, even in the unknown, even in the fear and the uncertainty, what we need to remember is the present moment. You know, we talk about this all the time of be here now, be present. And yet so many of us are so busy doing all the things, worried about the to-do list, worried about the kids, worried about the past, worried about the future, that we are so lost outside of the present moment that we forget that the only place something changes is in the present moment. When we feel massive anxiety, when we feel fear, when we've got forest fires coming down the mountain towards us, when we've got sales calls to make and we're terrified, when we have people to reach out to that we don't know, and we've got to talk to people and put ourselves out there and share our story in a vulnerable way and spray our kittens with spray bottles because they're being crazy right now. Whatever's going on, you cannot change the past, so stop worrying about it. And you can't worry about the future. The only way that you can change your future is by being here now. Your thoughts right now in this moment are creating your future. Your thoughts, your frequency, your feelings, everything right here, right now is creating your future. So if you're worried about money right now, guess what? Money is hearing that. If you're worried about bringing in new clients into your business, guess what? You're creating more worry. So how do you be present? How do you stay present when anxiety and fear and a fire is flaming towards you? How do you stay present? Well, you breathe. You breathe, and sometimes you got to do it 150 times a day. It's okay. You're human. I'm human. We're all human. We get to experience this full spectrum. This is what life is. This is the beauty of life, of being able to experience all of it. And so we breathe. And we say things like, I am experiencing a moment of anxiety, and I deeply love and accept myself anyway. And we breathe a little bit more. And then we take the next action. Do I know if I'm going to be evacuated in the next 30 minutes? No. Is there any point in worrying about that? No. And so I breathe and I stay here now. And it's no different than a sales call. It's no different than sharing your story. It's no different than pressing the go live button. Different level of intensity, perhaps. But some people that I have worked with, some of my clients, they have the incredible anxiety just pressing that go live button. It can take up to months for them to make the decision to do it because of the fear and the anxiety. And so you breathe and you remember that you are experiencing a moment of fear, of anxiety. And then you feel the dream and you decide to experience it. And your body automatically moves forward into what's next. Whether that be taking photos of everything in your house for insurance purposes or pressing the go live button, whatever it might be, your body moves you into what's next. Don't worry about the future. Create the future right now by thinking thoughts that support you, by feeling the dream alive right here, right now. That's the way that you navigate the unknown, the uncertainty, the anxiety, the fear, whatever is coming up for you. That's the pathway through. And if you're not feeling anxiety and fear, awesome. Amplify what you are feeling. If you are feeling great, ask for more in the now, in this present moment, and keep going. I will never forget the first time that I did a Facebook Live. The anxiety was through the roof. My whole body was shaking. Anybody that knows me knows that when I get nervous or anything, I shake. When I speak on stage, I just shake. It's just who I am. And when I have an adrenaline rush or anything like that, my whole body just vibrates. And the first time I ever pressed that go live button, that's exactly what was happening. I actually had to have my phone on a music stand because I was shaking so much I couldn't hold my phone. Here's the thing. I had this dream of being a speaker. I didn't know what that looked like. I had no idea how. I didn't even know what I wanted to talk about. But I knew from training and coaching that I had received from my old business coaches was that storytelling was a big key in my success, in how I was going to put myself out there, and that I needed to be vulnerable in that story sharing. Well, my story, if you've not known me, I'll briefly give it to you. I am an ex-cocaine addict, abusive relationships, you name the bad decision, Cindy has made it. And throughout the years, over the time, I've gone through a massive spiritual awakening. I have come to this understanding of who I am and my own power. Well, the first time I had to share on Facebook Live that I was an ex-cocaine addict, I'll tell you what, I was terrified. I thought I was just waiting for people to judge me. I was waiting for the people to show up telling me that I was stupid, that I couldn't do what I was doing, that I shouldn't be sharing that I'd done it all wrong. I never went through formal treatment to recover from cocaine addiction. Instead, I skipped the country and went to a country that has the death penalty for doing drugs. That's how I chose to change my life. To share that story was terrifying. The first time I did it, I knew. I didn't care how scared I was. I knew that that moment was my pathway through. After that, pressing go live was easy. I ended up doing a Facebook Live every single weekday for 4 years straight after that. If you wonder why I might be a good speaker now, it's not because I was born with this skill. It's because I've practiced a lot. And I have opened that throat chakra, and I have become fearless in sharing whatever's on my heart, whatever I feel the need to say. And so my invitation for you today is to be fearless in your own expression, whatever it is, whether you're experiencing fear and anxiety or stress, or I don't want to press that go live button, or I don't want to share my story, or I don't know if my house is going to burn down. Whatever it might be, whatever fear you're feeling, feel it, acknowledge it. It's okay. You get to feel it and take action anyway, because your soul is like literally screaming inside of you saying, let me out. Let me speak this. When you speak your truth, you give others permission to speak their truth. When you share your story from a vulnerable, heart-centered space, people resonate with it. People hear you. People feel seen. And they want to be connected to you. You don't have to sell a bunch of programs. You don't have to be a coach. You don't even have to have a business. Speak your truth. The world needs your fearless expression right now. More than any other time in history, the world needs you, needs your voice, needs you to break through that block in that throat chakra, needs you to shout from the rooftops. This is your time. Share your truth, afraid or not, do it anyway. Breathe into the body, be in this present moment. Remember why you are doing what you are doing, and be willing to step through, no matter how afraid you might be. That's how you create your dream.